way to make that happen, it would be sweet. Like we need to do that as a channel. Like, like
We
find
could
a
make
way to make picking your nose cool.
that would be
So,
awesome.
you want
That
to
would
know
be
something
awesome.
else? We've been broadcasting for about 15 seconds.
Good, man.
Yeah, so
So
that was live.
that is
I
good.
I fucked you. Not
Welcome
really.
to an episode of Nerd Out at Night. I'm Randy, and there's
The
Brian.
other guy.
Look
Yeah,
at the other guy. You
yeah,
got a sweet fresh cut, man.
I did.
I was saying I liked the long hair thing you were doing, man. I thought it was, but you say that it's getting a little thin, getting a little
Getting
thin.
a little thin. When you get a long-haired animal and you
Mm-hmm.
got like shit in your mouth and you don't know if it's yours, hers, or your girlfriend's, it's like, yeah,
That's time to go.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was looking at the top of my hair, and I feel like I'm doing a little bit of a comb over, but it's still there. It's just I mean I have a giant forehead, but I've always had a giant forehead, so it's nothing new. So I'm holding on tight, holding on tight, and welcome to everyone who's in the live chat. I see we got Dust Mites out there. What's up? We're gonna get you on maybe next week. You work next week? Let's get you on. We got to get someone else on because I imagine that people who watch this don't want to just hear you and I, or maybe
or
they
they
do.
do. I mean, man, couldn't imagine, but hey, yeah,
I guess
yeah,
it's
we do need
true.
some guests here. Yeah,
Yeah, some other fresh voices to bitch about all things plastic. I think that's already a used trademark. I think there's like another.
probably.
Yeah, fuck it. Um,
I was
so
pissed off when I found Emergency Awesome was used, and now I watch them. So I
what's
was like,
emergency? Oh wow, that's a good one. Yeah,
it's like I don't know if it's a channel, but someone else used that term way before I did, and I used it once, and then I found out I actually plagiarized and didn't know it. So I was pissed.
I think that's why we put the K in front of the nerd out to make it a
And
silent K was because some
Nerd Out was used,
nerd
yeah.
out, yeah, but it wasn't
Yeah.
a YouTube site or anything like that. It was just an already used domain name, and we were like,
Mm.
fuck it. If we ever wanted to do nerdout.com, we couldn't do it, so we did the silent K, and I guess it's worked out fine. So you going to Force Friday with me tonight at midnight? You're going to Toys
Not
R
a
Us?
fucking chance, man.
Really?
My old ass is going to be asleep by 11.
Luke Skywalker, um, Snoke,
You're going to
Porgs.
go to Toys R Us, they're going to have 10 of each and like 50 guys that want it, man.
Dude, it is a nightmare, man. It is. You know what? I'm gonna get in fist fights with guys over the one. There's gonna be like 8 Luke Skywalker, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to fight. I'm gonna have to reach over and grab Luke Skywalker's
And
from.
50 like Count Zuvio, whatever the fuck repackage or
What if
whoever
they?
the fuck.
What if they came out with another Count? They just put him back in the assortment, just like
They
that's.
probably will, or someone just like it who's just as useless who gets
Oh
cut.
man, that's awesome. Count Zuvio. The guy wasn't even in
Yeah.
the fucking movie. Like
Yeah.
he had like a half a second. But you know what? That's pretty traditional for Star Wars. Like that never stopped my love for a man.
A
So
man,
the
man,
man.
Zam Weasel or whatever
Sam
like,
Wazell.
yeah, whatever the fuck. That was such a big deal.
She had
2
a
seconds.
sweet
Yeah.
car like spaceship or
Yeah.
jet. It was pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? It was all right.
Yeah, but I was convinced she was going to be a main character, some huge thing that played into the whole plot. She wasn't shit. Just
No,
like a pawn.
that's kind of how I
Oh.
felt about the what in the Force Awakens? What were those red guys? The Vitruvian guards or something? Not Vitruvian.
Yeah, those guys look sweet too. What are
It's something like that, though, right?
The
Yeah,
enforcers. Yeah, I know what you're
right.
talking about.
I
Yeah,
thought they
they
were
look
gonna be.
legit.
Yeah, and
Nothing.
actually they were cool though. They served their role, I suppose. I guess I guess Captain Phasma would be the ultimate example of that. Like they marketed the shit out of her, and
Yeah.
all she said is, "Who told you could take off your helmet?" And that was
And
it.
she has force powers too,
She
man.
does.
I'm convinced she does, man. The
Why?
part where Finn takes off his helmet, and
Mhm.
go watch it. She appears out of nowhere. He walks into like an enclosed area, and she appears out of nowhere. And if you really watch it close, the physics are there is no way she could be there without him noticing her. He has to walk in the space she's occupying, and she ought to, like, you know what I mean? And
I do, but do you think maybe it's just like JJ taking a shortcut, or do you
Like
really
bad
think it's
editing? I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I mean, I have no idea.
Okay.
Probably bad editing, but you
All
know
right.
what? I'm just saying she's got force powers.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I
But
think not at all. I don't think so.
mm,
I think she served her role, and I think that they heard a bit of a backlash, and they're going to intentionally write a little bit more juicier, meatier stories for her in this next movie. Which I got to
they
be
should
honest,
do. I
I
mean,
know.
she's a good actress and she's talented and she looks cool. You know.
Yeah, no, most definitely. She's got all the makings. Speaking of look cool, like I finally warmed up to the. I'm gonna try to say what they're called, the Praetorian Guards, the Red Guards
Praetorians.
for Last Jedi. Those red
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
The one with the knight, the like medieval knight helmet style.
Yeah.
They showed pictures of the SH figure arts. Those are
Do you
badass.
think they're going to be the Knights of Ren just in their formal attire,
No,
maybe?
no, I don't. I think that they're.
Do you think the Knights of Ren are good or bad?
I think they are bad. I think they are whatever got Luke to freak out and go to Ukchu or whatever. Like they are bad. Like they are the reason why Luke says the Jedi's got to be done. It's just not working out.
I think that's going to be like one of the first lines in the movie too.
I think you're probably right.
I think that whole thing is taken so out of context. Like everybody's making this huge deal about it. I think that's what Luke says before he even decides to train Rey. And it's sort of like, imagine if you saw like Yoda say, "I cannot train him. The boy has no patience." In the trailer, people would be flipping the fuck out. If that was the last thing said in an Empire trailer, people would flip the fuck out.
You're probably right. I'm trying to think of a good example from another movie trailer where they really overplayed an insignificant scene and made
Episode 1.
Yeah, that's
Episode 1. They made Maul look like this crazy, important character.
Yeah.
Gave him lines that he never even spoke. Well, or did they speak? Did he speak in it?
Yeah, he had some cool lines.
Yeah.
And you know what I didn't know until I would say within the last year or two? I didn't know that wasn't Ray Park's voice.
Oh, yeah. Who is it? I knew it wasn't him, but I did know that.
I didn't know that. I assumed that he at least voiced Darth Maul, and he didn't, which was kind of surprising. I don't know what is Ray Park's voice. Is it like, "Hello, I'm Ray Park"? I mean, like, what is he?
He's
like
an Australian guy.
Oh, is he?
Toad. Yeah, he sounds just like Toad.
Oh, okay. I'm trying. I mean, I would think that you could manipulate that voice to just fine. But for whatever reason, I think Darth Maul's voice worked fine. So for the few lines that I got. But you really like. I think you have a responsibility to come out with me at 11:45. Come on, no, just go stand in line with me at the Toys R Us and just be there. I think it's your responsibility.
I think it's not though.
Really?
I don't. I really don't. If they had Solo Chigokin like Star Wars toys, I would go.
But don't you? Okay, it's one night a year, and yes, I agree with you. It's an absolute waste of time. I'm not selling it here, am I? But it is always disappointing, and we know what we're gonna get, and we know that whatever is available is going to be in limited quantities, and we're gonna be fighting off 10 other nerds that we should probably beat because I think I'm in better shape than I'm gonna say 60% of the people there, and I'm not in good shape. Is that stereotypes? That's bad, right? All right.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of fat guys in basements, for sure.
Right. Which, oh my God, that's exactly what I am. I'm like a fat dude in my basement right now.
Yeah, but at least it's your basement, not your mother's basement.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a responsibility to go and just do it and just.
I won't be awake past 10:30 though. That's the problem.
You got to do it, dude. Because I honestly, I don't want to go alone.
You do. Just go alone. You'll be fine.
Is anyone? No, I was gonna invite like anyone in my area, but that could get really creepy if I had a bunch of people that I don't know meeting up.
Yeah,
you gotta go, dude. You've got to help me get the one Luke Skywalker Jedi fig. Like, I just want the little 4-inch figure. You got to help me get it.
I don't think it'll be hard to get though.
I think you're wrong. I think there's probably I figure there's 8 to 10 cases, one Luke, maybe 2 per case, and there will be a line of at least 50 nerds.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get it, man. No
You'll
way.
get it. Just get there at 10.
The
Just get
thing
there
is
early. Yeah.
I don't even care that much. I really genuinely don't. But it's like, why not? I feel like it's something to do. All
I
right.
gotta drive the lady to work tomorrow morning
Oh,
first thing. Like, dude, I
bullshit.
no, I swear to God, I really do. We're going camping. We're taking
Oh,
her
you are?
car.
Where are you
Yeah.
going camping? Can I ask?
Oh yeah, we're going up north. We're going to where is it? I'll tell you in 2 seconds. I'm checking.
Oh, I just went to
We're
Traverse
meeting
City.
Frank and his family.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Yeah, I forgot exactly. Sheboygan, I think.
Sheboygan.
I don't
That's when you
know.
know you're up north, is when the city's name starts sounding like Charlevoix,
Otsego.
Sheboygan.
I'm sorry, Otsego. It
That's
sounds
enough.
even better. That sounds very Canadian. Otsego State Park.
Is
So
it very Canadian or is it more of a Native American? You might be right.
probably Native American,
Yeah, you
actually.
might be right. I was
And
thinking like Charlevoix. No, Charlevoix is probably French Canadian.
yeah,
Um, Nevertheless,
because it's got that silent X in it. Yep.
by the end of the night, you are going to be
Asleep.
convinced. No,
I'm
no,
gonna be
no.
asleep, man.
I'm gonna wake you up. I want to, you know what, actually, the one thing I do want is actually the Walmart Star Wars black set. It's like a 3 3/4 inch, but I'm not going to Walmart for one of many reasons, but primarily because I just don't want to go to
White
Walmart.
trash.
It's just overall trash.
Yeah.
But okay, so moving out because I'm gonna get you to go to Force Friday anyway. Uh, um, uh, um, I saw this movie last night. And you absolutely look, if you don't go to Force Friday with me, you can at least pretend you're going to go to bed and watch this movie. It's a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives. And what it is it's a documentary about the whole production and every aspect to the 1998 movie that they were planning. Tim Burton with Nicolas Cage as Superman. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, I do. But my question is, how detailed is the documentary? Does it get into what the story would have been and all that? And
Okay, I don't want to. I'm not gonna.
because
I'm
I
gonna
will
get you.
watch it
You will
100%. I'm
absolutely
all
okay.
in it. Yeah.
Every nerd out there should watch this just for the pure like just to know what might have been. They had 3 screenwriters, including Kevin Smith. He was the first one,
All right.
and then there was 3 of them. And I'm gonna go on record saying this: the second one, from what they talked about, because they talked to each one,
Yeah.
the second script was fascinating to the point where I might have been on board. And even for a little bit there, for a little bit, they convinced me that Nicolas Cage could have played an interesting Superman.
But then they got fucking Ghost Rider to him to be Ghost Rider.
Exactly. Oh, he
Yeah.
was the worst Ghost Rider. You like that movie
I
though,
don't
don't
know
you?
that I like that movie. I like them both actually because they were fun.
Yeah.
They were fun.
Brandon
Yeah.
says, did we watch Kevin Smith talking about the whole Nick Cage Superman thing? I heard that was like he would tour uh like colleges and talk about that whole story, and I've not heard it, but I heard it's hilarious. They do talk to Kevin Smith a substantial amount in this documentary, and they talk to Tim Burton, and then they talk to the wacky producer, and
Who was who? Who was a
I
producer?
can't remember, but he was the producer on the '89 Batman with Burton.
Was it
And
not like Joel? No, it wasn't Joel
it's
Silver.
like Peter. I'd have to look it up, but
All right.
it is. He was. You could tell that he was single-handedly the one. I don't know what he's produced since, but you could tell that he was the one that would have made that movie awful if it happened. Like he was the bad piece of the puzzle. And the thing is I thought I mean the concept of Nicolas Cage as Superman, regardless of his terrible performances in Ghost Rider,
He's had good performances everywhere else. Not everywhere else,
absolutely.
but he's a good actor. And I mean, the whole thing is his accent works because it's like
So?
he's Midwest. Yeah, he's got that Midwest like. Sounds like he came from like a farm like Kansas. He could be a guy from Kansas. Easy.
I always think he sounds more like New York Italian than Midwest. But I don't know anything about accents. But I mean, you're right. He like Raising Arizona. He was great. He was
Yeah.
in Adaptation was a great like complex but great movie. I mean, you know what? I even liked his role in the Martin Scorsese Bringing Out the Dead, which
I
a
was
lot of
gonna
people.
say I love that movie.
I did too,
Yeah,
and a
that's
lot
a
of people
great
don't
movie.
like it. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it for a Martin Scorsese movie, but yeah, John
Leaving Las
Peters.
Vegas, he was awesome in that.
Yeah, Brandon J. It was John Peters was the producer,
John
and
Peters.
I don't want to I don't want to spoil the experience. I don't think it's really a film like a documentary that I could spoil, but I can recommend it to the highest degree. And when you're done, you're gonna kind of wonder whether you wish you had a chance to see the movie. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. I gotta say, Nick Cage in the Superman suit. I wasn't buying it when I saw pictures of it, but in this documentary, there's a couple shots where I'm like, it's different, but maybe I don't know.
Did you get
It's
around to Empire Strikes Back Revisited?
no, you were supposed to send me a copy of it or
Oh
something.
my God, dude, download it. You guys, everybody out there, all 15 of you, that is your homework. Download Empire Strikes Back Revisited. Look it up on Google. You can download it and prepare to shit yourselves. Like,
What could they possibly do to make Empire Strikes Back any better, though?
okay, you really want to know? They color corrected the whole film. So they rebuilt Echo Base. They built new model shots. They extended like photography. So like,
This is some nerd shit right here.
dude,
Because
it is some nerd shit. It is what the special edition should have been, but wasn't. Like instead of like, the parts where they're taking off, and it's just a white backdrop with ships taking off, they put Echo Base in it. So it looks like there's actually a base. They built a 1:1 scale Han in carbonite to make that look proper, so he wasn't wearing like the Star Wars uniform. Instead of that, like they fixed shit you never knew was wrong. It looked beautiful. The Hoth battle's completely different. Like,
well, see, I think that's my point is that like they're fixing things that I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be on board
watch it, you'll
out.
change your mind.
Okay, because
like, it's so good.
At this point, the original theatrical release of Empire Strikes Back is perfectly acceptable in every way. Like
It's my favorite Star Wars film. I mean, it's probably my favorite movie.
I'm a Jedi guy, but that's because for different reasons. But I do recognize that Empire is the best of them.
At this moment, I might like Revisited more. I might,
wow.
But it definitely does it like justice. It's not like it like when you watch the special editions, you feel like they're a piece of crap
They are.
and an insult to the films. Where this is like, wow, this movie, it's like it feels like someone went back in time and told Kirsch, this movie is damn near perfect, but in 30 years. People are going to say this is the best film they've ever seen. Take 6 more months.
Wow.
And that's what it looks like. That is what it looks. It doesn't look like it has new effects, but it's like when it shows the AT-ATs, you can see the pilots driving them. Like you can see in the window. Like,
do you need to see? Like, I mean,
it's cool. I mean,
all right. I'll have to see it for myself. I do have like. I have major issues with the special editions, and we just talked about that. Like, there are things in it that I didn't need to see. Like, it just didn't benefit me whatsoever. Sometimes, like for example, I think Empire Strikes Back was the best of the special editions.
Because they did the least too.
Right, they did the least, but they showed the Wampa, and after watching it, it wasn't terrible, but it was like I don't feel like it added anything to the movie whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I think actually showing the Wampa maybe took away from the movie a little bit. And a lot of that might be just because I'm conditioned to watching a specific version. So, and like same thing with like adding dewbacks like to Tatooine, like that didn't add anything. As a matter of fact, it made Tatooine feel less barren than it is. And I like
having animals there. Yeah.
Right, like having everything going on kind of took away that whole feeling of Tatooine being this like isolated desert, and
I agree. The special editions suck. I hate them. But I'm telling you, these revisited ones, they're just different because all they do is they change the scale a little bit. Like they just add shit that you're like, how the fuck did they do it? But it feels so natural. Like the part where Vader kills the officer and it shows like a shuttle go.
Yeah.
But It's a Tidarium, and it's a super huge close up of a shuttle bay on a fucking Star Destroyer, super detailed, and it shows a Tidarium just go and like fly to the other Star Destroyer, but it shows the fleet so close. It just adds scale, and that's it. Nothing,
Cool.
no added footage. No, they just like you have to see it. It's incredible.
How do I search it?
Just look up Empire Strikes Back Revisited, and
Okay.
and you can download it anywhere. It's free. It's completely like it's free. It's sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw it. Look, I expected to see some piece of shit, but it looked like some guy who put a decade into like loving the Empire Strikes Back. And as much as I love that movie, he loves it more.
Yeah.
That's just that guy loves Empire more than anybody.
Or he loves it less, and that's why he did all this shit. Is because he had issues.
No. He did it because he loved it.
Yeah.
Like watching it, he loved that movie. I just like it's like I thought it was very tasteful. I thought personally, man,
nice.
It's a decade worth of shit.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Anybody in the in the live chat want to like? Someone had.
And yes, Despecialized is sweet too, Brandon. Yes, I have all of those in there. Like those are badass too. So.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to give heads up. Anybody got anything for us? It's kind of weird because I think we've been so Transformers heavy lately, and I'll be honest with you, like I don't have any. Like there's been a bit of a lull in Transformers. We have TFCon coming up in about a month, actually almost to the date, and I'm super excited for that. But I don't even think there's something like I got those Titans returns. Thanks, Mark 44 Prime. That was awesome. And I guess there's the Slug Slinger out now, which is the deluxe. But other than that, like what Transformer stuff do we have? Like where the fuck is Masterpiece Sunstreaker? Like, and do I even?
Dude, that's not due out for a long time, right?
Really?
I think like that's summer, isn't it?
Yeah, man, that shit's slow.
No, we're done. We're done. I mean, for a little bit.
Like, I'm hoping. I don't really care. Like, I'm really excited for TFCon. Like, that's gonna be great. I hope we meet a bunch of people and get You gonna make it past 10:30 at night though?
I have no idea. It depends. Probably not, man. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I'm really excited. The Toronto one was a lot of fun, but I didn't think it felt like it wasn't like a party. Like it was it was fun, but like my wife and I went to the bar in the evening, and we were probably the most party-ish people, and I don't think that we were party. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't sense that people were like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna nerd it up with everybody else and just party." And but it was a lot of fun. I heard the TFCon in the U.S. parties are a little harder, so I'm excited.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, and it is gonna be fun. And what about since we don't have anything Transformers, are you gonna get that $800 SDF1 by Arcadia?
All right, first it's a $600. Like,
no,
dude,
it's
I don't know. Well, I don't know what Chosen Prime is fucking talking about because they're like $200 overpriced.
Okay, once you get so you order.
It's $60 to ship it from HLJ.
Okay, so let's call it 700. Is that?
No, we're gonna call it about 630.
You're trying to justify it, aren't you?
No, it's 630.
Okay. Well, you have to get it, right? I mean, actually,
maybe. I don't know.
I normally want to push you to get something ridiculously expensive that I can't ever own. But I'm going to be honest with you, like you already have the other Arcadia. Like how special edition could this be that they could tag on another $300?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, all it does is they like dry brushed it and put some markings on it, and it's like, fuck you. I'd rather just buy a second one and do it myself.
You should should buy that I know this is sacrilege, but I think you should buy that non-transforming ginormous one that lights up.
Sure, I got $1,200, but no, it's $2,000, isn't it? That thing's $2,000, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a mortgage payment and a half or so.
Yeah, dude, that's 2 mortgage payments from him. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I want it. I mean, it's sweet. I would totally take it as a gift. So we still got the P.O. box, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I just
send it there,
by the way. I just renewed the P.O. box, so it's Nerd Out P.O. Box 13784, Berkley, Michigan 48072. Send us something. But since real quick on Robotech, like I want to recommend to you and everyone out there, I got the second issue of the Robotech comic. I can't remember the publisher's name because I don't have it handy, but it's good. You should check it out. It's essentially a retelling of the Macross saga, but it's a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more modernized.
Sweet.
But I think you should. Honestly, I think you would enjoy it. I think you would. So that's my Robotech stuff. And other than that, um, can I show you these? I don't know if you would. I don't think you'd be into these, but I got to give these. I got to give these props. I want to actually do a full review on these, but I guess we're probably beyond that now. I got these little Mega Construx dudes. You see these? Like, hold on, dude.
I'm coming back. It's 571. I just looked it up.
Oh, it is
571 at HLJ. So
all right.
maybe I should get it. It is sort of beautiful. I cannot
You
get that.
should.
Fuck that.
Look at these little dudes, dude. They're like little. They're called Mega Constructs. That badass.
Yeah, those are cute, man.
They're
He-Man
adorable.
versus Alien.
Dude, they're adorable. Yeah.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, look at that. Those are adorable, man. These are I'm gonna get my ass kicked for saying adorable, but I don't give a shit. Like they are like I was never a Lego minifigure collector. I appreciate what they are, but these like actually like look, there's a Mega Marine. Wait, can you get that?
Sweet.
Man, I'm hooked to these, but there's only like I didn't get the Borg or the Captain Picard, so I should be ashamed of myself, right? These are great, man. They're $5, and they're so awesome. I had to walk into Walmart to get them though, and that was as always.
They had a
pleasure.
Borg and you didn't get it.
I regret it, man. I can't believe I didn't get a Picard either, but Picard I understand. That's just like buying an action figure of a bald dude.
A bald dude in a red outfit. Yeah.
Although this is buying an action figure of like a dude in
a
underwear.
Yeah.
He-Man, man, he's something else. But Skeletor, same thing, but he's got a skull. I love this guy, man. I can't believe how excited I got for these. Like I got a little crazy. Like
are they articulated?
Yeah, dude, they're like fully articulated. They're like little action figures. Like I'm so excited about these for $5. I mean, you just don't get anything today for $5. It's like this is awesome.
Come on, guys! A pretty sweet looking Skeletor, man.
It's a good Skeletor. It's pretty detailed, but I like it. I like it more than like the Lego minifigures are cute, and I'm using that word. Cute.
But they're all the same figure with just like a different piece.
Right. Where these are like sculpted figures. Like that's a straight up alien. Like can't fuck around with that.
Yeah.
But I did want to promote those. I'm really excited about that. What else do we got? Any questions? I would like to talk about Game of Thrones, but you pushed out in the last couple seasons and haven't been watching it, right?
Dude, just speak. I don't care, man.
Well, it's not really something to speak about. It's just like it is. It's I've really enjoyed it. I do think that this season has been unusually fast. Like the storytelling,
it's over now, right? Isn't
it?
Right.
No, there's one more. I think there's one more season. But
this season's over.
Yeah, it just ended. I mean, they're clearly trying to wrap up this like intense story, but everything was really slow. And then this season, they just sort of like sped up things and like skipped past all those little minute details that they.
Was that good or bad though? Because I mean, if you look at it, the first season was useless. I loved it, but dude, it was completely useless. And I don't mean useless, but I mean it's like, okay, wow, we're following this guy and he gets beheaded, and I was like, is that for real? I remember I was like, holy shit.
I as someone who likes slow-paced stories that really like get into those details, I do think that it didn't serve them well because it did change the pacing. But with that said, I was thoroughly entertained. So it's like I can't bitch. Like it's still amazing television. It's just that it was just like out of character. Like whereas like in previous seasons, like someone would journey to another place and you would literally not see that person, or they would journey for like 3-4 episodes or maybe longer.
Okay.
Whereas this one, it was like Jon Snow is in the north, and then 20 minutes later he's in
So cut
Western.
like a movie instead of like a
Yes,
TV
yes,
show. Yeah.
exactly. You know what? It kind of yeah, definitely. But I mean, again, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm not going to shit on it, but it definitely looked like they were like, all right, we got to move this along. But I still think it's great television. And Twin Peaks, like, how are you feeling on that?
I'm excited for the next two episodes, man. I mean, Coop is back. So
That's what I was waiting for, man.
yeah.
That's what they. I'll be honest with you. I like the Twin Peaks, but they should have put Coop should have been back in episode 6.
See, I don't think so, man.
No,
I think some big shit is gonna happen. I think it's gonna like I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea. But I sort of like the wait because I like Evil Coop a lot. Like Evil
I do
Coop is
too.
sweet. I even like Dougie a little bit. I mean, because he sort of was Coop, but just like he had his essence. He was a badass. He had all the intuition and everything. It's just he just couldn't articulate himself, you know?
It was hard to watch. It's hard to watch Dougie because I knew what he was and what he was to become, and I wanted to see that other character so bad. I wanted to see Agent Cooper so bad that I just didn't have the patience for it. But
Mhm.
I do agree with you. Like now that he's Agent Cooper, and if we're spoiling it, sorry if you're not watching Twin
Yeah,
Peaks. Now that he is what he needs to be, I can look back on it a little bit more fondly. And I guess that's good television, right? I mean,
because you didn't know it was gonna come. I'll bet if you rewatch it, you'll probably like it more because you know he's coming. Like you
I think
didn't
you're
you
right.
like you it, like I was wondering if it was actually gonna happen. Like, is he gonna be like this for like? Are we ever going to see Coop again? You know, and it's like now that you know it's here, I think you can actually revisit it and probably have it watch it with more confidence. You know, because you never know what they're gonna fucking do. But
I think that makes sense.
do you think they can wrap that storyline up in 2 hours? I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, you know?
I agree. I mean, I don't want it. Like I said, it contradicts what I just said about Game of Thrones. Like I said, I liked
Yeah.
slow paced stuff, and I guess it does contradict what I say. But I just, I think you're right. I think it's just now that I can look back at it. Actually, I can't because there's still 2 more episodes.
Yeah.
I think I'll look back at it more fondly than I did. But
I mean, they introduced so much shit that wasn't necessarily Coop, but what's the glass box in New York? I mean, what is all that
I
shit?
don't
You
know.
know? I
I don't
mean,
know, and I don't know if we'll ever know. But I mean,
and I don't
that's.
want to know necessarily, but even what's the eyeless chick in the jail with Bill? I mean, like
Do you
she's
know that that's
physical.
Billy? You don't know that's Billy though, do you?
I think it's Billy, but
Have
no,
you
I don't
read?
know.
Okay,
No,
all right,
no,
all
but I
right.
think it's Billy.
Either way, Twin Peaks is an acquired taste, but
Yeah,
it's brilliant if you are brilliant. I don't know. Maybe that's
you
I
know,
don't know. I think I like
you
it.
you have to like it. You have to be into stuff that isn't given to you on a silver platter. That you
Yes,
have to work for it. Like you have to really come up with your own ideas about it. They're not going to tell you what to think or what's what. And it's like neither. Some people hate that. Some people
right.
they need to know exactly what the director and the writers are trying to say, or they don't want to use their imagination or come up with their own, interpretation of it. And I love that to an extent, but then sometimes I freak out because they take it too far, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just see? You
It's
know?
it's it's like whether you like Blade Runner with the narrative or Blade
Yeah.
Runner without the narrative.
I like it both, but
Do you really? I
I
can't
like it more without. But
I can't stand the narrative, but I know that there are people out there that do like the narrative. I absolutely do not, and that would be your analogy would be exactly why I don't like it. Like I don't need to be spoon fed everything. Like I want to be able to come to these conclusions or think about these myself. But I guess it depends on the show. Have you watched that Defenders at all?
you know what? No, I haven't started it yet.
I,
Have you?
I watched the first episode, and you know what? Those Marvel shows are really taking a shit to me. Like I liked
I'm struggling to get through Iron Fist
it's
because,
tough.
dude, it's like, oh my god, it's like Iron Fist is so cheesy, but Luke
Worst.
Cage is the worst, man. Like I
I
gave up on episode one on that, and like, but I feel like I have to watch him to do Defenders, and I mean, but I can't get
I
through them.
I can't. I got to episode. I think I got to episode 8 of Luke Cage. 8 out of like 11 or 12 or whatever.
Oh shit! And you didn't finish
yeah,
it?
and I couldn't take anymore.
Wow.
But that's because like I actually think I enjoyed the first 4 or so.
Yeah.
And then it was going, and I was like, I don't like this anymore, but I'm going to hold on. And then then I kept holding on and holding on and holding on. And then finally at 8, I was like, fuck it, I can't, I'm done.
Here's my favorite part of Jessica Jones.
I didn't watch that.
Jessica Jones is better. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than either of those shows, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, like, not to sound like a dick or anything, but it seemed like very Afrocentric, you know, the show, and I don't. I mean,
Luke Cage?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know how to explain. It seemed very like just. Oh, I don't know how to explain what I'm talking.
I don't either. I mean, I just thought the acting was terrible. Like in the script, like I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't really get into.
I'm trying to think of what I could compare it to.
Yeah, Slim Tim says Daredevil's the only one that's good to him, and it's the only one that's good to me. And the thing is I'm still like, I forgive a lot in Daredevil. I didn't mean to cut off your thought.
I thought Daredevil was great.
I think it was good, but they were like, I hated Catherine and Foggy. I don't like.
Thank you, Dust. Yes, it was ghetto, very ghetto. I guess would be what the word I was looking for. Yes.
So I think that's what I liked about it was like urban. I don't know. I
didn't like that about it. I mean, I was
really?
like, I don't know. It just wasn't my thing, you know?
What did you want Luke Cage to be like?
Like just a guy in a barber shop? I mean, I thought that was so just like a little cliche maybe and cheesy. Okay. I don't know. It's like
I think those were the aspects I liked, is that it was like taking place in a world that I didn't quite know or wasn't that familiar with. But I don't know, maybe it wasn't done as properly. Like, but to me, it was like what I would have liked was Luke Cage mixed with The Wire. Like that would have been awesome. But that might have been too smart for them. I don't know. Anyone who hasn't seen The Wire, watch The Wire.
The Wire was great.
Yeah, that was great. Luke Cage was better than Iron Fist. Iron Fist was unwatchable. Jessica Jones, I got to be honest, I saw the first episode, and I actually thought it was good, but like I just didn't continue with it. Defenders, I watched the first episode, and I felt kind of like you did. I was like, do I keep watching this? Because I kind of feel like I feel like I need to go back and watch those other shows in order to continue watching this, and I wasn't willing to commit that much time to it.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through Iron Fist, and I mean, like, I'm like literally working as I watch it, or like doing something else.
Oh,
like,
well,
I can't watch it straight. Like, no fucking way.
If it's not good enough for you to watch it straight through, then it's just like skip it, waste of time. But don't waste the time. But television is really good though in general. Like I can't believe how good television is. In general, with like Netflix and
I think it's
HBO.
better than film now. Yeah, I mean, I think good TV is like the best TV is better than the best film.
Totally,
you know?
Totally. Did you see
I agree.
Did you see the trailer for the next season of Westworld? The trailer it was pretty intense. Did you like
Westworld? Well, I saw it a long time. Wait, is there a new trailer?
No, they just showed a new one. Yeah, they just showed
I didn't.
It could have been one for Comic-Con, but it was pretty extensive.
Is it going to follow all the same characters?
Yeah, it's going to get intense.
All right, that's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Narcos. That was the one with Valdez.
Yes, it's good.
It is good. Yeah, that was good. Yes. Slim Tim asked if we're going to go see it. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I want to see it.
But I can't get my wife to see it. Like, is it okay to tag along with you to see it?
I guess, man. Yeah. Why not?
That didn't sound very confident. Like,
come with us. Yeah, man.
Oh man, that sounds like I'm like inviting myself to a date.
Dude, yeah, you can come on a date with us. It's cool, man.
I will. I really want to see it. It's getting good reviews, and I got to be honest. I think it looks good. My nerves are gone. I can relax and enjoy it. I hope it's good.
I don't care if it's good. You know what? I don't care. I love the original. The whole thing is I like the original a lot, but I'm not so attached to it that they can change it. And it already sounds good because they cut out all the adult shit in it, which was like the stuff that annoyed me in the book.
Yeah, it
in
was.
the, you know, I
It
didn't
was
care
the
about how they ended up as adults. Fuck
Dude,
you.
the adults were terrible. It was the guy from Night Court,
Yeah, John Ritter.
John Ritter, and then who was the guy who was in the Waltons? He's the
Yeah,
big
John Boy.
dude. Yeah, he's got this big fucking mole on his face. I'm like, how did
Yeah,
this guy ever get a job in acting without fucking having to saw that motherfucker
because
off,
this is
dude?
Battle Beyond the Stars. Or
Yes, that's a
Battle
good
Beyond the
movie though.
Stars. That's a great movie.
That's a
Yeah.
good movie. But I never
Sator. John Saxon is Sator.
Sator.
Yeah, I do.
That
He's
reminds me.
scary.
You know what movie I've never seen that I really want to watch, and I wish I have access to is Zaldar. Wait, what was the one with Sean
Zardoz.
Zardoz.
Oh, that's a tripped out one,
Do you
man.
have
That
that on
thing's
Blu-ray?
crazy.
Zardoz?
No, I don't. I don't, but I'll get it. I will get it
Okay,
because that's a tripped out. Like,
dude, the outfit that he wears is fantastic. Anybody
yeah,
out
just
there? Do you know if Zardoz is on Netflix or Amazon Prime? If so, let me know. Paul Chu, what's up? How's it going? We're just kind of going along here. We're gonna wrap it up fairly soon. Thanks for joining us, everyone, because we really
I want to see Chainsaw 2, Slim Tim.
Chainsaw 2?
No, there's a new Chainsaw coming out. There's actually a new Halloween coming out.
Yeah.
Which looks sweet.
R.I.P.
Or sounds sweet.
Toby Cooper. I mean, that's sad.
Yeah.
Toby Hooper died. See, I don't want to like shit. Toby Hooper. First of all, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the most terrifying horror movies.
Without a doubt.
And then there's like he directed Poltergeist, which honestly,
a lot of people say it was Spielberg.
They say it was Spielberg,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, like I don't know film, and I don't know it, but like style wise, it does.
It felt like Steven Spielberg.
It does feel like
Spielberg. He did some good movies. He did The Fun House. He did Invaders.
I never saw that.
Mars. Ooh, that's a creepy one.
Wait, does that have clowns in it?
Yes.
Dude, that's holy shit, dude. That scared the shit out of me.
Do you remember the beginning of it? The beginning credits were the scariest
I'm getting nightmares
part.
thinking about that. I saw that with a friend. I remember, and like I slept over a friend's house, and it was on, and I remember he fell asleep, and I'm just sitting there alone watching Funhouse. I was scared out of my mind.
He was a master of horror for sure. He did a lot of good shit. I mean, he did a lot of bad shit too, but he did Life Force.
What was that?
Life Force.
Oh, I like Life Force.
Yeah,
that's a good movie. I have the soundtrack of that on vinyl. How
yeah, I remember that. You were blasting that.
I was rocking.
The day before an episode, I was like, "Holy shit, that's
how random is that? Just like the Life Force music soundtrack on vinyl. Like that's nerdy. Yeah, Funhouse. Holy shit, I want to watch that tonight, but I'm scared. You were recommending a movie to me too that you kind of scared me out of not watching.
Baskin?
Yeah, you scared me out of it.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'll tell you what. That's a one movie that like you watch it and it's like you imagine being one of those guys, and I'd be like, yeah, that's about it. It's over. I'm gonna shoot myself right now.
Oh man, I'm definitely not watching this.
Yeah, but it really is the first movie that if I were in, I'd shoot myself because instead of having to deal with what I would have to deal with.
I don't know. Maybe you know what? You know what I miss? I miss monster movies. Like, why don't we get a lot of like good monster movies anymore? Like,
they're gonna come back.
They're gonna
come back. Yeah. Yep. I think it's gonna be a trend.
The monster movie financially could be one of the most easily inexpensive movie to make because really all your money goes into the monster and fuck the digital monster. The digital monster doesn't work for me. I'm talking man in a suit or woman in suit, makeup, monster movie. Once you create that monster, then you just have the monster going around terrorizing people in whatever setting it is.
But it's like anything else, you got to have actors to sell it. Because no matter how good it is, you got to have, like, they got to stop. Like, right now, the trend is, like, and I think this all started with the French extremity movement, which is
what is that?
It's like these French bastards that made the crazy, sickest movies you could ever imagine.
Oh, okay.
And it really is a thing. It's called the French extremity movement or something. It's like the movies that, like Martyrs and Irreversible, they're like absolute just shit hit the fan. Really violent, really scary, really intense. And I think that's the trend right now is to shock people. And
I don't mean to interrupt, but wouldn't you say that trend was like the Saw trend like maybe 10 years ago?
I think it's still there.
You think it is still there?
A little bit. Yeah, I think the trend is just to be vile. And it's like they need
Yeah.
to get back to just being scary, but
Yeah.
having people that you like. Like sort of Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, like you had Nancy and you liked her. You cared about what happened
I
to these
agree.
people. And
I
most
agree.
the horror films now, you want to see the people die and you root for the bad guy. You know, it's like you want to see Jigsaw kill all these fucking useless people. And they need
Yeah,
to get back to like people that you enjoy, that you want them to pull through, you know?
that's a pretty fair analysis. Like that's a pretty good opinion. Like I mean, but I just like someone was mentioning. I'm sorry. Khalid says, aren't they remaking those Universal movie monster classics? I didn't see the Mummy, but that Mummy looked so stupid. It looked so bloated and unnecessary.
The Tom Cruise one, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck that.
yeah. And same thing
Yeah.
with that drag. Like, fuck that. Seriously, like, give me $1 million budget, which is
Yep.
absolutely like
Doable with no name
doable,
actors.
no name actors, and I can get good actors, and I think you're right. You can get good actors. There are a lot of actors out there that are looking for jobs, and make me a good monster movie. I'll get a guy who can do special effect
Actually, I would
makeup.
say 10 million. 10 million. Just
10,
because
10
that's
million would be
nothing.
really no, that is nothing. But
That is no
even
money, but that would
even a
be, you could comfortably do it easily with 10 million, you know?
absolutely. I'll get someone who can create a really good monster. We'll go downtown Detroit in some of these abandoned warehouses, and we'll do a scary fucking monster movie, like or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it. Damn, monster movies, man. I want to make a monster movie.
I want to do a vampire flick and make vampires scary again. And a werewolf. Like, that is the one thing I
Yeah.
want to see, a scary werewolf, and it's like, fuck this Twilight bullshit and all that. Like, what's a stupid show with Rogue in it? That stupid blood.
I know what you're talking about. Like once,
Dude,
yeah. I don't know. All I
fuck
know is
that.
American Werewolf in London is perhaps not only one of my favorite. It
That's
is my
still a
favorite.
pussy movie.
No, it's such a good movie though.
Yeah, but it's
Those
pussy. It's not scary. Like
no,
that movie.
but
I'm sorry. I want it scary. Like Silver Bullet, scary.
okay. All
Like,
right, but American Werewolf in London is a good example of liking the characters. Like
yeah,
that is
yeah. It
like
was well
okay,
made. It was well
but you want
made and
something.
all that.
You want something like you want some a
I
werewolf
want
to
a
be.
fucking horror movie with the werewolf in
I'm
it,
with you.
and one with like vampires in it. Not a vampire, vampires. Like sort of like how Fright Night was, but
Yeah.
like that movie's sweet still, but that movie should have been remade properly. Like that movie remade properly could be really scary.
I actually thought the remake was pretty good, but I was perfectly fine with the original. I love Fright Night, but
Yeah.
I want like monsters. Like I want creatures like and make like I want to see that. Like I want something where I watch that movie and be like, dude, I need an action figure of that crazy ass monster.
Well, they're coming out with Slender Man, so that should be pretty cool.
Who's doing it though? Like what is that? Like what's the story?
Slender Man is a urban myth. Like I guess all these kids have done like these videos on YouTube. Look them up. Some of them are sort of scary.
I did see pictures of that, and it scared the
it's like, dude, whoever thought that up, it's sort of scary. It's some of the videos are sort of scary. It's like what was the Mothman prop?
Yeah, that was a good movie, man.
That's a fucking scary as shit movie.
Paul Chu says do a horror movie on Mackinac Island where you're trapped and there are no cars to drive away with. I laugh at that because I was just at Mackinac Island, but I'll be honest with you, if you could get that place for like a winter and do a monster movie there, that would be terrifying.
You could, I'm sure you could.
I do. They shut down this island, Mackinac Island.
Remake The Shining.
Yeah, totally.
There's people that live there, like 50 people or 100 people that live on that island during the winter.
Isolation and monsters are two things that scare the shit out of me, and that would be perfect. Like, I mean, that's why John Carpenter's The Thing is such a brilliant movie, is because you're dealing with isolation, just unbearable conditions, and a monster. Even though I didn't think the monster was that cool looking, because it really, I mean, it's not that it wasn't cool looking. It just was it never had its physical, a true.
It never really showed it because it didn't have its own form, which I thought was sort of cool about it.
Yeah. Khalid says, "Can we agree we're done with the whole insidious paranormal genre?" I'm not sure because I think Conjuring still has created a market, and I think people still
Yeah,
are.
they're gonna. I think they're kicking out another Insidious. I mean, I've had enough of it, but
Mhm.
I think they're going strong.
I do
So
wish I would have seen that Annabelle, the second Annabelle. I heard it was good. I'll look forward to that on
yeah, a
video or whatever.
sequel to a prequel that's better
Hmm.
than the prequel. Fucked
Yeah,
up, man.
I
I heard
did
it was good
watch.
too.
Yeah, I heard that. I watched the first Annabelle, and that was like laughable. That was like VHS shit, man. That was some
Yeah,
bad stuff. But I like. See, that's what I liked the horror genre. Like that was the thing is you and your buddies would have a sleepover, and you would rent 3 horror
and
movies on
scare the shit
VHS.
out of you. Watch 2 bad ones and one that scared the shit out of you.
Absolutely, and you would completely base your decision making based on the
A
the
box
cover
cover.
the cover of the box.
Yep. You ever watch The
Like
Prowler?
no, oh yeah, but I can't remember it. I think Life Force was one of those that had the cover that was like fantastic.
Yep.
Speaking of that, but I mean, I remember us renting. Me and my friends rented a movie, and I can't remember the name of it, and it had a little blip on it that said, "Warning: This movie is like." It basically said, "This movie is." We are not responsible for any reaction this movie has, and beware, be warned. And of course we rented the fuck out of it, and it was ridiculously bad, but
Yeah.
that's all it took to get us 13-year-old kids to rent that movie. And
Yep.
I'm you gotta love it. Oh my god, Komodo Rover, he's talking about Barbarian. Man, I can't. Wait, what is that? Oh,
I would love a new Barbarian movie would be sweet.
that's a
Titties,
yeah.
super violent, super gory.
That's another
And
genre that I like. I do
yep,
like the barbarian fantasy. Like
needs to come back.
it does, but that's expensive, isn't it? Do you think that would be unfeasible expensive
I
to do?
don't know. I mean, we have the sand dunes. I mean, you could do some crazy shit in Michigan with Barbarian.
That's true.
Dude, I mean, but you would have to make it 10 times more violent than Conan, the first one, and that's a violent
That's a
movie.
violent movie.
It
Yeah.
is a violent. It's lusciously violent, and I love
Yes.
it. But yeah, I like because the remake of Conan absolutely was garbage, like
Oh yeah, it was
unwatchable
bad.
crap.
It was bad. It was bad. It was useless. I agree. I like the fantasy. Like, I mean, one of the reasons why I love the movie Crawl so much is because they mix fantasy and
And
science fiction in one movie. Like,
yep,
what?
yep.
That's you've got me. Did you ever see? Oh yeah, we've talked about this already. I always rehash these old conversations, but I loved of Kung Fury is because that's
Oh
what
fuck
Kung
yeah,
Fury
that's
is.
great.
Everything I like in one. But yeah,
Triceratops.
Triceratops,
Mm-hmm.
the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
What about a barbarian monster horror movie? What if we could do that?
You could, man. I mean, what if vampires hit back in the Bronze Age? You
That'd be
know, I
awesome.
mean, or a werewolf like Conan has to take on a fucking werewolf or something like some crazy shit like that. Yeah, I mean, there's so much shit they haven't touched yet that they should touch. We should keep our mouths shut because they're gonna fucking do it.
Yeah, I know they're gonna steal, and I think you're right. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's barbarian movies with more boobs. Like when I was like,
Tits everywhere.
yeah, I mean when I was 14, like come on, I just like boobs are harmless. Let's show some more boobs. Like that's
Well,
why
I mean,
Game of
there wouldn't be a
Thrones.
woman in it that doesn't show her titties. If
Yeah,
you're like, why would a woman be around then that doesn't show
oh,
tits?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like
No,
for that
wait,
kind of
back then,
movie.
I mean.
Oh yeah,
Back then.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the titties were everywhere. They didn't cover that shit up,
Right. I
dude.
mean, but that was like part of barbarian movies,
Yeah.
is like you need to have the breasty women. I'm
Yeah.
pro breasty woman in my barbarian movies. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
horror movie. It's like when you have a horror movie, it's like you got to show a little scream
But the
queen
problem
boobage.
is, dude, you're going to show a bush in, like, unshaven armpits? Because they were not shaving the shit back then.
No, man, they were, dude. I
That
remember
shit was, like,
the first movie bush I remember that was like really intense was Revenge of the Nerds. Like they showed like vagina like right there, like bush at least.
really?
You
How
don't
did...
remember Revenge of the
No,
Nerds?
I've seen... No, I don't remember it. I
Oh
mean, I saw the
yeah.
second one. I remember it, but I don't know. I mean,
The
the
second one
first
was PG-13. Revenge of the Nerds, the first one, was
was...
pretty hard R, dude. They literally took movie cameras into the girls' locker room and they zoomed in on a bush, a hairy bush, and that's what it is. It was bush. You gotta go back and watch that.
The
It's
first Bush I
fantastic.
ever saw was like A Clockwork Orange, I think.
Oh
And like,
yeah, but that's not
the
like,
way you want to see Bush.
no,
You know, like
that's not fun nudity, man. That's
no.
like I appreciate Clockwork Orange, but I do not feel comfortable. I mean, that's the whole point, is not to feel comfortable.
Yeah, it
But
was
that's not
very
like
gross.
fun nudity. I'm not in,
Mm.
One last thing, and then we can cut off. But you brought up in a text about wanting to see a new Highlander remake, and I want
Fuck
to talk
yeah.
about that. I think
Well, they're making one. It sucks.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it's already in I don't know if it's in production, but it's already announced. So,
well, for those of you out there who are either too young or not nerdy enough to know what the Highlander is, it was an old movie series along with the TV show series, very different. But the concept it lends itself so well that it shouldn't be just left alone. It's like basically about a group of people who are immortals. And when it all comes down to it, there can only be one left immortal. They all have to die. So they're constantly out.
and they can only die by separating their head from their body, and there has to be one left.
Right. There can only be one left. So they eventually they can cross paths with other immortals and they can befriend them, but they know at the end of the day, when all this is over, they only one of them can live. And I love that idea, and I personally think it would work really well for a really complex, like HBO, Netflixy kind of show, because I think you can really explore characters and you can have multiple focuses of leads. But either way, like what?
See, I agree. I mean, I think that could be cool, but I sort of like Just a Little 1986 movie that was dark and gritty. It's sort of hard to understand and had never been done before, you know? And I mean, that's what I loved about it. It was like, wow, this is a cheap ass 80s movie that's sort of time travel, shows all this shit, and it's like the low budget is what made it good.
Yeah. But I mean I do like the Highlander, but like that is one of those movies that I like. There are two movies that I watch that I love, but really recognize that a remake would be appropriate, and that's Highlander and Logan's Run. But like going to Highlander, when you see Christopher Lambert wearing those big ass Nike tennis shoes or whatever,
yeah, it's so dated.
Yeah, it's so dated, and and but the concept of the Highlander is brilliant. And for those out there, I loved the TV show, and I like I admit,
see, I was not a fan of the TV show. I couldn't do it. I tried. I was like, this is not the way I left it, like in the movie theater. Like,
yeah, no, it's very different. Dave Lukowski out there, shout out to Dave Lukowski. We would watch this show, and we were very connected to it.
Adrian Paul was such a pussy. He was a pussy.
He was. But
I don't mean that. He's just a pretty boy.
No, he was.
So pretty. And it's like,
it was literally me, Dave Lukowski, and about 6,000 women who watched that show. It was totally like
that was a girl. It was a woman
it was definitely a more emotional, effeminate way to approach the Highlander. With that said, I like the show better than the movie. I don't know what to say. I really
liked the second movie more than the show. And the second movie was actually, I sort of love the second movie.
Come on, really?
I can't help it, man. It's like if you watch it, I love things that sort of like they took really far, sort of, like that were like could have been good and weren't. Like there was so much wasted potential in that movie. Like just the sets, the design, and everything.
Wasn't that unwatchable? I'll be honest with you. I'm going to confess. I never saw Highlander 2 all the way through.
Watch the Renegade cut. Like, dude, I mean, I don't think you're going to ever say it's a great movie, but
right. It's a guilty pleasure.
I don't feel guilty. I love the shit out of that movie. I like the whole thing is because I remember I saw it in the theater because me and Frank Matthews, he got me into Highlander, and I really at the time I really connected with it. I was a kid. I was in middle school. Yeah. I really connected with that movie. I loved it. It was because it was about being alone, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like really cool in middle school. I was sort of a nerd, you know. So I connected with it, and I needed the second one to be good. Like I needed it. I saw it in the theater on a Sunday night, and it was like, what the fuck am I watching? It like 8th grade or whatever grade I was in, but I've always like sort of excused it because I needed it to be good. So I don't know, but
And
yeah.
you saw it in such a pivotal time of your life where
I had
I
no
get
choice.
it. I get it.
I had to accept it for what it was.
I have movies like that I like and I appreciate because of that. Someone Khalid mentions Highwayman, and I can't remember it, but it sounds familiar. Do you remember a show called Highwayman?
No.
Why do I remember it? I can't remember. Yeah, but yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, dude. I loved the dude. Dave and I loved Highlander so much. I think Dave has a Highlander sword in his basement
That's
somewhere.
Sweet. The dragon head or the dragon or the tiger, man?
That's a good question. I think he bought the TV show version.
Which is a dragon.
Yeah.
No, no.
I got to be honest with you.
No, that's a tiger. The dragon is the movie version. I think.
I admit I like the show better. I love the movie. I appreciate the movie, but damn, I'd like to watch that show again. I bet you it really does not age
Dude,
well.
I'll bet you will like throw up in your own mouth watching it. Like some of the shit is just so.
I was like, it is so cheesy. You have to understand, like, I was 18-ish when it came out, and I was certainly like the kind of person who was like, I don't know if I want to say like hopeless romantic because that sounds really awful, but like I was really like, I want to find something special, and I would come home every night at like 12:30 and go up into my bedroom when I lived at my parents' house and turn on the Highlander. It was on every night, like weekday, and like that was my show I connected with. I have no idea where the connection of this is all together, but for whatever reason, that show, you're right. That show is, man, I feel cheesy, but I don't care. Hey, Dave has the sword, so he went.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's sweet, man.
He went a step further.
Dude, I watched V the series and loved it.
That was good though, wasn't it? Like
V and V the Final Battle were awesome, but the TV show that followed was like god awful. Shit.
I think Diane.
You're dying, man.
Oh. She was like dominant and like exciting, right? I mean,
I would have fucked her. Yeah, I mean, hell yeah, man. I mean, every kid my age would have like. She was everybody's first boner,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she was like one of the first.
Yeah.
Paul says Highlander was the first time you heard "Dust in the Wind."
Dust in the Wind was in Highlander.
When a major character died, that is. By the way,
that is so cliche. Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? Come on. Dust in the Wind by Kansas is a beautiful, brilliant. I shouldn't use the word beautiful, but it is a brilliant, brilliant song. That's awesome. That is cliche.
But I mean, I love it. But that's the whole thing about the movie. It was like littered with Queen music. I mean,
it was
throwback to sort of Flash Gordon a little bit. I mean, it was great after that. Yeah.
Man, that's true. The soundtrack was. What was the theme song? How did it go? Because they used
the Princes of the Universe. Here we are. Who wants to live forever? Ew! I forgot. They used that in the show.
How did that go? No, it was the Here
Forever.
No, the other one that you sang. The Here
we are born to be kings. We are the princes of the universe. I can't sing. Dude.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
We need Bukowski for that, man. Komodo Rover.
Yeah.
Sing it, man.
Dude, he would rock it. He would pull out his guitar and he'd take his voice up a couple octaves and he would rock it out.
Yeah.
So anyways, Highlander.
Yep.
TV show or movie? Let's get on that.
Movie.
You got any what's that?
I'm the same movie.
That was an awful remake. And I had nothing to say or do to change my mind on that. That was terrible. The only thing I liked about it was that what's her name was in it? The Barbarian girl.
Who girl?
The girl from Firefly in Deadpool, Barbarian. I apologize. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, she was in V too. She also played Diana in the remake. Yeah.
I was like, that was the only The only part of that V remake that was tolerable. That was awful. That remake was awful.
There was nothing
But,
good about it. Nothing. They even called them the V's. They're like the V's. They're so
Did
bad.
they?
Yes, it was bad.
It was
Terrible.
so cheesy. It was so cheesy.
Yep.
All right. Well, you got anything else? You're gonna be gone this weekend?
I'm gone this weekend, man. Sorry, boys. No episodes this weekend.
No episodes for a little while. I was gonna as I was gonna lead us out. I was going to. I was gonna say to have a happy Labor Day, but is Labor Day an American holiday or is it just like a people holiday? An
Is it a real holiday? I think it's definitely an American holiday. It's a union holiday.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know because everybody labors, not just Americans, right? So, all right. Thanks everyone for coming into the live chat. Mark 44 Prime, thanks for coming in. I know that you work late and you stepped up and you came in. Thanks.
Thanks for checking in, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, everybody. And until next time.
Nerd out.
Nerd out.